Hello.
We're live.
We're back. Just checking the sound.
Happy Beltane, everybody. Mayday, Mayday.
I need to change my calendar. Oh, it's all good.
We're going.
Yay.
We meant to honor the StreamYard duck, but I don't see them.
Yeah, the StreamYard duck Fernando cometh and goeth but this time Zelf is written instead.
There was something in the air that night.
Exactly.
A duck in flight.
Yeah.
Fernando
does not fly for free. Also, StreamYard keeps forcing us to put their link in our description box.
Their link.
I know. Like,
as if our thing is everybody's thing.
Yeah, I know. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for being here.
First day of summer, according to the Celtic traditions.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
You don't like that?
No.
Why?
Well, just because I want spring to obviously last forever, and
I see.
I guess I see June as summer.
Okay.
I mean,
I guess,
it is,
yeah.
right?
I mean, it depends. It's all relative.
Summer technically doesn't begin until like the middle of June.
It's just, it's warm time, flower time.
It's my cousin Becky's birthday today.
Oh, Becky's birthday. How nice.
Who else's birthday is it today?
If it's your birthday, sound off. This one's for you.
I maybe should have given this stream a sexier name than We're So Back, but
I feel like that's
if
us
you're
every
not
time.
interested in us being so back, then don't bother coming to the stream.
If you're not there for our so back, you don't deserve us at our extremely so back.
Well, let's catch up a little bit. We haven't seen each other in 3 weeks because you were in New York. How was your trip?
Oh, delightful. New York City is really great.
Your Instagram game was fierce.
Thank you.
You really took advantage. I was so proud of you.
Of course. Yeah. It was really wonderful. Got to see a few shows. Got to see Oh Mary
I'm jealous.
by Cola Scola, which was so funny. So funny.
To see a show right now.
Yeah. Especially one so politically oriented.
Have you and Ash seen the film Honora?
Not yet.
Oh,
I really want to though.
Yeah. It's really good.
I'm going to.
Okay, so New York was good.
New York was good. Surrounded by gay people. It was wonderful.
What did you learn about yourself there?
About myself? Maybe I'm more of a city slicker than I even knew.
I could see that.
I felt really energized by being around so many people.
You're a socialite.
Yeah. I liked it. And everyone's like dressed nice and like looking great. And also so nice. Everybody in New York was so nice. I feel like it gets a bad rep, but like everyone was just like kind and talkative and complimentary. It was just great. Really, really great. As far as its reputation for being the city that never sleeps, I'll call bullshit.
In what way?
Because a lot is closing down at 10 and 12 there. It's not so just all hours, but it, still is like always busy. There's always noise. There's always sirens.
Well, we are still living in a pandemic.
Yes.
You're still saying that.
And I loved public transport. That was great. Taking the subway around. It's like, oh, you can just get a train anywhere, anytime. Great, wonderful.
That's what England's like, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
You should be able to get, generally speaking, anywhere by train.
Yeah. And walking too, which was great. I love to walk.
You are looking spiffy as hell. Is this the New York effect? I have heard that people dress nicer in New York.
They do. It was very fashion forward.
You're bringing kind of this channel's going metropolitan thanks to your New York trip. What was the best thing you ate?
The best thing I ate was probably we went to the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens and the food there was incredible. Wow. It was really, really tasty. And the Botanical Gardens were incredible. We got there like during the cherry blossom bloom, and there's just magnolias and cherry blossoms everywhere. It was so pretty. Going to all the parks was really wonderful. They made Liberty Park here look like a children's playground. It was just, you could explore those parks for months and months and months. It was great. Yeah, loved it. Had a wonderful time. Can't wait to go back.
Cool. We had such different weeks that week, but then we did both get the flu.
Mine wasn't,
or whatever.
Mine wasn't the flu. I think I came back and just, I had been just like binging all week, and I think it caught up to me. And then the allergies, like coming here in full.
Oh, okay.
All the trees just sorry, Banksy. I'm so sorry. Just jizzing into my face was a lot to take in. And so, I became a mucus factory there for a little
Mm.
bit, but didn't get like a fever, didn't get like anything like that. So
Cool.
But you, on the other hand,
Yeah, I don't know. You never really know if something's a cold or a flu. Like, what even is the difference? I had more body aches than I think a cold is. But as you get older, I feel like even a cold, you just kind of, I don't know.
just kind of feels like I'm getting sicker and sicker more and more often, and finally it'll just kill me.
I was bragging just recently about how I didn't get sick the whole winter, which is very unusual. And then, boom, it caught up to me.
Well, I have an autoimmune disorder that I think is just going to take me out.
Vitiligo?
Mm-hmm.
Does it take people out?
I mean, it's an autoimmune thing, so it
does
can't
that
be helpful.
Mean that your immune system is compromised by having vitiligo?
Yeah. To what degree? I don't know.
Because you seem to get sick a normal amount, right? So far.
If not more. I got sick a lot as a kid too.
The haircut's looking kind of fun.
Thank you. I did it myself.
How's that journey going?
You tell me. Every time I come into your bathroom, I'm like, oh, it really does look like I cut my hair myself.
Well, with the overhead light, you don't want to be judging yourself by that.
Like, ooh, there's a lot of layers in there.
Should I rename this stream or just leave it?
I don't know. What do you think,
I
team?
think I'll just leave it.
These folks seem enticed. Excuse me.
I originally had a joke about Gwyneth Paltrow in the title, but I just didn't know if that was too niche. But I did just want to kind of briefly touch as a community on Gwyneth Paltrow's return to bread, because I think it's kind of culturally a significant deal, and we should just talk about it. So she was paleo for years, as all of the wispy women were. Well, actually, I don't know. And she recently said, I'm a little sick of it, if I'm honest. I'm getting back into eating some sourdough bread and some cheese. There, I said it. A little pasta after being strict with it for so long.
Wow. There, I said it like it's a confessional.
I'm so proud of her.
Wow, where's my bravery for eating sourdough?
We're
it's like, wow, you're so brave.
A little sourdough?
Just a tiny, just a morsel, a little sacramental sourdough.
A crumb of gluten.
Is she Christian?
No, she's like new age, up the wazoo.
For now.
Oh God, no, she wouldn't do that to us. I'm not like a Gwyneth Paltrow stan. Although her show that she did on Netflix about sex, it was like helping couples with sex. I actually think it was pretty good.
Oh, nice, great.
But a lot of her other stuff has been highly questionable and even heinous.
I know nothing about her. I'm just taking the piss.
Well, the only thing you really need to know about her is she's eating bread and a little bit of cheese again.
Wow, we're basically the same person.
I know. She's so us. Yeah. What news does everyone else have?
How have these 3 weeks been for you? Did you feel abandoned in our absence?
Yeah, sorry about that. I am the 33rd rising star of philosophy Substack right now.
That is incredible. Congratulations. Well deserved.
Anderson is 25.
And you're coming for her ass.
I'm coming for her. I'm coming for Zizek. He's on the list.
He's on my fucking list.
I'm like 29 spots away from Zizek. That doesn't seem right. Something's wrong with the algorithm if they're putting me in that. But just like a fun little saga in my life. Like when things get rough, I'm like, well, I am the 33rd rising star on philosophy Substack. So
yeah,
at least that.
Yeah. Jesus was never the 33rd on Substack.
No, I've got way more Substack followers than him.
Yeah.
I can't get into Substack drama right now. People on Substack are currently debating whether Glennon Doyle deserves to be on Substack because she's like too famous.
She big magic.
She's untamed. She's one of the biggest memoirists of our generation. She really is like culture defining.
She's allowed to be on Substack.
Of course she is. She's like a writer. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Substack can be very pretentious.
Oh. Well, then I won't take my writings there.
And it's making me pretentious. It's making me think things are okay.
Well, when you're 33rd, how could things not feel okay? You're basically on top of the world.
I'm mad with power. The poetry I'm shitting out is heinous.
God, I would love to shit out some poetry. It's been so long. I did start reading again.
Oh?
Yeah. I mentioned in our Patreon series, which we just finished the penultimate chapter of Tennis Shoes Among the Nephites. So now's your chance to get in while it's hot right before the finale.
Yeah. We're doing a live finale next week. Just binge our tennis shoes for the next week. It's a 15-month journey that you'll have to go on in a week.
Mm-hmm. But I read a Kurt Vonnegut book.
Oh, you read Slaughterhouse 5, yeah.
Yeah. It really made me think, I'm starting to think war isn't good.
Bad.
War's not great,
Yeah.
I think.
As I've always said, I've been an anti-war activist since I was 12 and wrote to Tony Blair saying, please don't do the war.
Damn. And he didn't listen to you?
Didn't listen.
Oh, that dick.
I genuinely thought he might.
Yeah.
Genuinely thought he might listen to my pleas.
I like to think it still haunts him. Just kidding. He doesn't have a conscience. Anyway,
Tony Blair.
Something terrible that happened in the New York trip was that I realized I accidentally deleted our Claymation podcast episode, which was like losing a child.
The Claymation podcast has gone through the ringer. Not only was it shadow banned by President Joseph Biden, we've experienced setback after setback with the Claymation podcast. There are evil forces afoot that don't want it, especially our conspiracy episode.
Sorry, did I say I deleted it? What I meant is I discovered it was deleted, likely by nefarious forces.
It doesn't matter through what vessel they worked through. The fact of the matter is the Claymation podcast is under attack.
For all I know, is Martin Harris's wife come through one of those time portals to sabotage the great and noble work and a wonder.
I honestly really relate to Joseph Smith though on the I'm actually not going to remake those pages because I'm just I don't know if I can do the conspiracy.
I already wrote
again.
It, and it seems like such a slog to go back.
Such important lore contained in it.
It really did, and that might just have to be the sealed portion forever that the angels will have to quote in eternities.
Why do people keep phoning me today?
Scam likely. I know that guy. We're like this. He calls me every day.
The pretentiousness on Substack really took me by surprise when I first got on there.
Oh. It's interesting how it's both like a blog platform and a Twitter makeshift.
And now they
Twitter.
just added Reels.
Oh no.
I know.
Not everything has to be everything. Not everything has to be TikTok. I'm so fucking tired of every platform trying to be TikTok.
I know.
Just let TikTok be TikTok. And TikTok's not even TikTok anymore.
TikTok.
Time is up on this. As always, we will be doing tarot to anyone who feels that they could use a little feedback in the form of card readings.
And as always, we will be reading Super Chats and Venmo Super Chats, and we are very appreciative of them.
Yes.
And I'll turn my phone on loud so we can hear the little Super Chat dopamine ding.
What else is new? What have you been up to these last 3 weeks?
Just living my entire life on immigration subreddit.
Oh, that sounds fun and healthy.
Carrying my green card with me everywhere I go, stuff like that.
You got to be packing.
You got to be packing. What have I done for the last? It's been spring, so if I'm healthy and I have a spare minute, I'm probably on a walk, and that's been nice. Oh, I looked after Roscoe the English Bulldog at the weekend again.
Oh, that's right.
But what have I done?
I did comedy with Roscoe's
owner.
We
were in a show together.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Small world.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot of poetry, specifically Mary Oliver's poems from 1965 to 2013.
Is that like her whole anthology?
It seems like it's most of them, but I actually think she curated some for the collection. So,
okay.
Yeah.
She hit so hard. I think I screenshotted one of hers the other day.
She hits so hard.
And it doesn't matter how many times I've heard it or seen it, it still hits me with the same gravity every single time.
Every poem I read, I feel like she's she's related to me. Like she's my grandmother who's older and wiser, but we have the same kind of brain. But
Mother Mary, she knows.
Yeah, she's so great.
Oh, something exciting that happened to me. I already told you, but this is the suit that I wore to your wedding.
As my
that I got
man
for
of
your
honor.
wedding. And I've worn the jacket a few times, but I've never worn the pants. But then I tried on the pants and I found $30.
From my wedding.
From your wedding. Who knows where I got it? Oh, Mary Oliver, where are you? I just want this. Oh, how come I also didn't realize that the guy from White Lotus, the billionaire evil guy, is Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite? Just little facts as I look in my phone for that Mary Oliver poem.
Oh, yeah. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 2 trailer came out, but we haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
I'm excited to see that. Also, we just got a super chat come in via Venmo in case you didn't hear.
Let's go.
Thank you to Becca, who said, "This is for Tanner's TikTok rant that I felt in my bones."
Oh my God. I'm so excited to go on this rant. I'm What a beautiful segue. Thank you so
friend?
much.
Also, I will be leaving early for a walk and talk with my therapist today. Slay. Stay mentally healthy all. Thank you so much. I love the idea of a walk and talk with a therapist. What's your TikTok rant?
I mean, my whole rant was that I thought I needed therapy, but actually what I really, truly, ultimately needed was to watch my boss, Tony Soprano, go to therapy. I've been binging The Sopranos. One of my favorite pastimes is binging series that everyone watched a decade ago and then being like, how come nobody's talking about this?
Yeah. I've been getting into the Gilmore Girls.
Sopranos.
Yeah, tell me more about that journey. So it just seems to have impacted you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just totally checking out and
amazing.
Just focusing on that. They've become my whole social sphere. It's like what's going on in the New Jersey mob scene in the 90s and watching them unravel their toxic masculinity and intergenerational trauma. It's just done wonders for me.
Brilliant.
I love the show. Love it.
My uncle was obsessed with The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Everyone's probably obsessed with The Sopranos.
Yeah, I realize.
Don't mind Banksy. He's just coughing up a little hairball right there, but he always just swallows them right back down, so you're probably not going to have to see it.
He's just doing it for attention.
He's throwing up for attention again, like me in high school, and he does do that when he wants dinner. Which
is something they talk about on The Sopranos too. Again, just a universally applicable series.
Who just started Girls for the first time and I'm addicted. Can't believe I'm that late to the game. Have you seen Girls?
No, I'm so excited for that binge. That's probably what I'll do once
I did love Girls, but that was one where I'm like, this is insufferable and pretentious. I found all the characters so unlikable.
Yeah, there has to be like some redeeming quality about that keeps you coming back. Or
also, I saw this meme that was like, or I don't know, it was just like a thing that said, name an actor that like the world just wants you to love and you just can't. And it was a picture of Adam Driver. And I'm like, that's me.
Oh, Adam Driver. Yeah, I'm not on board.
It's not that I can't see that he's a good actor. I just,
no,
like, don't
no ill will against him.
him.
I just do not care. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I did find the Mary Oliver poem if you're interested.
Yes, I am very interested.
This one hits every time. To live in this world, you must be able to do 3 things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes, to let it go, to let it go.
Mm-hmm. Ow. Been thinking about that a lot lately.
So right, Mary. So right.
Being prepared to let go of things more.
While also like holding them so tightly in the moment.
100%. I wrote a post on my Substack about this, and it was about negative visualization. Because I listened to this Stoicism podcast on 10% Happier, and I actually found it really helpful, even though bitches are coming for Stoicism lately. It's pretty fucking helpful.
Why are they coming for Stoicism lately?
Some men that are into Stoicism kind of, it's like repressing emotions.
Yeah, sure.
Under certain, but anyway, yeah, I do think negative visualization is important, aka just like reckoning with impermanence and actually taking time to think about the fact that like, you're going to lose everything. Like everything in life's impermanent, but like, no, genuinely, like, not, I think it's good to move through life not taking anything for granted, like genuinely not assuming that you're going to wake up tomorrow and have Banksy. It's like, it's okay to be like, statistically, I probably still will, but like, you really do have to like,
don't know, quite
seriously, I think, reckon with the fact that a lot of things that I think there's certain things like a partner dying, for example, that for a lot of people, it's like, I just don't even want to think about that. But I actually think we like really all should.
I be holding funerals for everyone I know in my head all the time and just breaking my own heart.
Me too.
And it's not a maladaptive coping mechanism. It's stoicism.
And Jared's been reading a lot of feminist books recently. And for some reason that has like coincided with him also having moments more often where he's like, oh my God, like people are going to die. I just think it's interesting, the crossover.
I'm always, and it does work. I like feel more regularly.
Yeah.
Like treasuring the present moment, just being like, oh my God, I'm feeling okay in this moment. It's beautiful weather outside. I am loved and I love, wow. Yeah. Someday it'll all be gone forever.
I think it's so much better to start from the fact that nothing is a given for any moment longer than right now, as opposed to like, I feel like I was sort of raised to have this idea that like, generally speaking, you'll keep all the main stuff, like no one will die. That only happens in very crazy circumstance. And then it's like, if something tragic happens, that's like an aberration rather than like death is inevitable coming for all of us. Mm-hmm. I really am back in a stoic phase lately.
It's nice.
It's helpful.
Yeah. I love it. It's kind of, well, never mind.
Yes, proactive grief.
Proactive
That's a good
grief.
phrase.
That's what I'm going to call it.
Well, should we do our group terror theme for the week?
Yeah, I was just imagining holding a funeral for everybody in this list and just showing them how sad we'll be when they're gone. But yeah, tarot.
If you want us to proactively grieve your death, super chat us and we will do that for you.
We're like whalers or whatever, people you hire to like show up at your funeral.
Are they called whalers?
Scream. I think so.
Brilliant.
The cat is Epicurean. Yeah, totally. I say I'm Epicurious.
What's Epicurean again? That's like really rigid.
The community I lived in through the pandemic was like an Epicurean community, which is not Stoicism per se.
Yeah, it's like worse, right?
Worse? I don't know.
Am I thinking of something different?
Maybe. But they're like Epicurus was like oriented toward the arts and living together with friends.
Oh, okay.
That sort of thing.
What was I thinking
of? Couldn't tell you. No, I was like, neuroticism doesn't come from Nero. It doesn't. That's it's not at all. But if it did. The tear. Wow. Wow. After having just read about hypothetical tears in the
unfucking believable.
In the Book of Mormon.
Even when Fernando's not here, he's guiding us.
Yeah. That's his eye, his all-seeing eye. I love that it's an emerald tear too. Wow. I wish I could cry emerald tears. Then things would be different.
The tear, the mourning, the release, the rain. Tears are droplets of letting go. And we just read that Mary Oliver poem. The way this has just all come together perfectly under Fernando's eye. Once they begin to fall, we allow the swelling tide of emotion to run its elemental course. Often, the tear is what is needed in order for a conversation or situation to break into the next level of intimacy and vulnerability. Some say that tears are so powerful in softening our egos that they open up a portal to the unseen world.
That is true in the Chris Heimerdinger world.
Amen in the Chris Heimerdinger world. Through our watery eyes, he doesn't matter, the nasty tear. The ancestors catch a glimpse of us and we are reminded of their eternal embrace. We sense our humanity, our humility, and we allow ourselves to be held. It is likely this card appears when there is a grieving yet to do, a sinking down into disappointment or despair that once acknowledged will bring a shimmer of clarity to our dewy eyes.
My dewy eyes could use a little clarity. That would be great.
I do also think the more you embrace death and confront potential negative possibilities, the less vulnerable you may be to manipulation in certain ways.
Yeah.
Because your fear isn't like controlling you quite so much.
Yes.
The tear is powerful and it is possible to be subsumed in its waters. Find a supportive place to open the floodgates. If both, okay, that's irrelevant. When light, this archetype is melody, melancholy, flowing through. When dark, drowning, drama, murkiness.
Beautiful.
I'm starting to wonder if tarot is the thing for me. This is so applicable. I love this tarot deck. It's called the Wild Unknown Archetypes Guidebook. And it may be the thing for you.
Yeah.
We should put an Amazon affiliate link to this.
I'm a stickler, and it is a divination book.
Oh, sorry. Because tarot is like an actual, yeah. There's like an Arcadia.
An Arcana.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Major, minor,
all of them.
All of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I do love divination generally. I think it's a great way to process what's going on inside you. I'd say there's nothing magical to it, but it always does hit kind of magically.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're like, maybe human brains are just so simple and we're always just concerned with the same kind of things. And no matter what we use as a mirror, it'll kind of reveal that.
But then it's like, that one was pretty fucking...
Like, that was great.
We read the Mary Oliver poem about letting go, and then we start talking about negative visualization.
And there was a single nasty tear that we did.
And we just read about the single nasty tear.
Yeah.
That a male child dared to let fall.
Yeah. And if we pull one about a StreamYard duck in this next one, then I'm a believer.
The duck.
The duck.
It's not even part of the deck, but just for this one reading.
Yeah, we shouldn't call it a tarot deck. A tarot duck is actually what it should be called. Ruth says, I do tarot readings, but I have ended at least one marriage and made a grown man cry. Pray tell.
Oh, like through the tarot readings.
Damn.
Powerful. But it's like his marriage obviously needed to end if he was getting the message, unless it was through the art of seduction. I know that we're all about skepticism on this channel, but I wonder sometimes if magic is real. We just don't call it magic anymore. Yeah, we're about skepticism and we're about magic on this channel.
Yeah, we contain it all.
We contain it all.
We're not one of those fools who only contains a single tude. We got multitudes in us, and some of them are magically thinking. Consciousness is magical. What is magic in its like most classic sense is like using symbols to alter reality in accordance with will. Well, the discovery and use of writing used to literally just be magic. It was that. It was like, oh, you can make this magic symbol on a parchment and show it to somebody, and then all of a sudden they know what was going on in your head through this magical symbol. That's fucking magic. It is. And spelling, grammar, I've talked about this before, but like how spell books used to literally be called grimoires, which is the same root as the word grammar, because it used to all be one and the same, and still is. And you can write things and change reality in accordance with will. If you are, write something terrible about, some local yokel and their life changes for the worse, what's that but a curse,
Yeah, that's so true.
Something to think about. And same with, that's just written language, but also just language itself, the ability to speak, to make these small mouth noises and have somebody else understand and internalize, again, something that was just going on in your head. It's pretty fucking magical.
Honestly, Tana, they would love you on Substack.
Yeah.
And I really think you should get one.
Am I pretentious enough? That's why I'm wearing a jacket today.
1000%. And also, I would kill to read your Substack. I would be your #1 fan.
Oh, cool. Well, everyone like and subscribe. Where do I even begin thinking about what to write about?
Oh, you'll think of something. And you can do whatever you want. I've been doing a mix of like little essays and then just like creative stuff because I kind of feel like it.
I'm just going to do acrostic poems. How about that? Acrostic
poems. We are not doing enough acrostic poems.
We aren't.
I want to revivify the art form.
Absolutely.
Transform the acrostic poem art form.
Haikus had a moment there, like
it really did.
The 20-aughts.
That was like my whole personality in college.
Oh yeah.
And then I've kind of gone off them since then.
Yeah, we got a little oversaturated.
Yeah, it was millennial culture.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's like everyone just sitting in their barrel top restaurants with their open candle lanterns and their suspenders writing haikus on a typewriter.
Fucking glasses, moustaches, horrible. I'll admit I'm pretty magic averse because it always just seems to be making up for a lack of understanding that will inevitably get filled with science. It's fun to pretend though. Yes, and to me, I'm like, what I cannot understand through science is magic in terms of my experience of it. But yes.
Prue says I should keep a notebook. And I actually am a really regular journaler. So I do morning pages, handwritten. And for a lot of like my day-to-day, just executive function is just me like writing in my journal and being like, okay, I need to do this now. And then I go and do it. And I go back and I'm like, what? Okay, now I need to
that's
do this.
me with my journal. I'm like, okay, I worked out and now I'm feeling this.
Yeah. So I'm there, but then I don't super often these days be like, what's a diatribe I need to launch into? I'll save that for our live streams.
Yeah. I know. Younger me was so much more down to give a diatribe at any given moment.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, try not to though, Sam.
Try not.
You've regretted that before.
But that's not how you get to be 33rd on Substack, philosophy Substack.
It's crazy that I'm 33 on philosophy Substack. I'm sorry, it is. And with your guys' help, become paid subscribers. I think I could get to #1. I'm like, if it's that easy to be 33, let's get me to the top.
I'm actually on a more aggressive platform called Domstack.
Domstack.
Yeah, there's Dom and subs, and I'm on the Domstack.
You got to make that bit before someone else does.
I should. The BDSM stack. They got the whole. Anyway. Hello, you two.
Looking very sharp as always. Yeah, equally sharp, both of us.
How would you your philosophy as a philosopher on Substack?
As a philosopher, ask me anything.
Okay. What do you have you coined a name for your philosophy that historians of Substack will remember?
I
like semanticism.
It's so annoying trying to just like label yourself philosophically, but you also like have to do it for branding because otherwise like no one will find you. Need to give people something, you know. So I just have in my bio like that I'm a fan of non-dualistic thinking, which I feel like kind of sums me up pretty well. And love as a disruptive force. So it's so annoying being like big fan of love as a disruptive force and non-dual, but yeah. Yeah, that's what I've come up with.
Nice. Any inklings on what your next inkling will be?
No, not at all.
No. Any ideas for me about what I should write about?
Oh, yeah. Well, you should first of all publish the long hidden Charlie fan fiction.
I like to keep that as like a sealed portion.
Well, you
thing
can
too.
do it behind a paywall.
It'll be released posthumously.
Substack. I really think you should release. You could write about literally anything, and it would be brilliant.
I mean, I could do that, or I could sell nudes, and I think
why limit yourself?
Yeah, I could do
it's
both.
Like I think if you're, because sometimes you especially will write like something on your Instagram stories about an issue that's going on, and it's like this is better than any actual pieces of writing I read this week, and it's like do yourself a favor, make it a Substack.
Yeah, during the first Trump administration and through the Biden administration, I was doing a lot of Instagram posts. I have been deliberately trying to like...
I sure am keeping stum lately.
Yeah, it turns out it was just leaving my body in like a constant state of tension. And for my own well-being, I needed to not do as much of that.
Yeah.
Save it for these things.
Yeah.
You know, YouTube.
You could also do it.
But I could come back.
Comedy.
Could do comedy.
Little comedy essays.
Yeah. I do have a reel brimming in me about, and it's just a rant I've gone on before about Elon Musk, but so maybe a little something down the road for y'all. Or just more Sopranos content, which is really actually where I'm leaning.
It would be so fun for lore for the channel if we could somehow have us both on the top philosophy Substack list, duking it out week after week.
Oh, that would be awesome.
If I can get on it, you'll obviously get on it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Damn. I should brand myself as Nietzsche too.
Nietzsche returns.
He's back and more existential than ever.
Oh my God. Marina just got dumped by boyfriend, opened YouTube to distract myself and found your live. So glad I can watch you and think of something else.
Oh.
Guys.
And here we are talking about it again. Sorry.
We're gathered here together
in grief
to hold
and tears.
Marina in the current grief, not even proactive grief of getting dumped by a boyfriend.
That is his loss, your brutal. Victory.
Yeah.
This is making a way for bigger, better things. Absolutely. In hindsight, every breakup is good, you know?
It is, but isn't it just so nuts how a breakup is detoxing from drugs?
Oh, yeah.
It always feels nearly impossible.
We definitely 100% get addicted to people. Our brains wire around them, and when we lose them, it's like someone taking like a meat cleaver to a third of our brain, just like, and you're like, my whole identity and way of thinking and this mutual language and experiences and relationships that I share with this person.
It's like we all know that breakups are normal and everyone kind of goes through them, but when you're in one, it truly feels so different from that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like hard to even express how much sympathy I have for people in a breakup because
it's hard. It's like,
and that's why people don't do them often enough sometimes.
Yeah. Well, hoping you the best. And
yeah, you have got 90 people
ultimately
sending you healing breakup energy right now.
I mean, we could do a tarot just
we'll
for
do
that.
a tarot for you.
Just
you don't even
that.
have to super
this one's on the house.
Freebie.
What's everyone's little bevy for the day? Beltane bevy.
Okay, this is for Marina. Anyone going through a breakup, really?
Hello, Banksy.
Or letting go of anything of any kind.
The shadow.
Ugh, beautiful.
Always present in this realm of light. What has it to say to us?
So easy to project your own shadow during a breakup. Always done it personally.
I mean, it's such a forced confrontation with it, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is. The shadow.
Banksy wants to hear this one. He's attentive.
Something's wrong with my vision today. Oh. This is a good card for all of us, just kind of at all times. The shadow, the unspeakable, the unwelcome, the denied. Although every card in the archetypes deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through effort and achievement. However, it's typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of shadow material itself. That could not be truer. That's all I keep learning over and over and over and over again. By rejecting parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is denial. When this card appears, it's time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with, no, anything but that, you are touching shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move toward the shadow with patience and compassion. Carl Jung logs in. Yeah, exactly. This whole deck is Carl Jung. Ooh, contemplate the following scientific observation. The closer an object, a person, place, or community, is to the light, the longer the shadow it casts. And that's why the Mormon Church is the most persecuted church of any church on the face of the earth.
Exactly.
In the shadow of the gods are the very gods themselves. Reflect on this statement by James Hillman in A Blue Fire. What do you despise about yourself? Let us know in the chat. By answering, you move towards shadow.
Yeah, when we never get cured of our humanity, right? And the pursuit of perfection and to rid ourselves of the, shadowy aspects of human nature only serves to empower those characteristics, whereas confronting and integrating.
Genuinely, all of our problems in the world are like avoidance or like denial of reality, which is why the Buddhists are spot on with acceptance being kind of like the primary thing.
I'll never not say it. Buddhism is so metal.
Based, yeah.
Yeah. This guy's doing the sand mandalas and then just like wipe it away. I'm like, damn, that's metal.
Ooh, Kira spoke out publicly against my abusive fundamentalist church today. Yours energy has been super calming. Thanks for going live.
Oh, wow.
Okay, congrats. And that's awesome.
Wow.
Oof.
Way to be. Takes a lot of courage.
Yeah. Yeah, super abusive fundamentalist church speaking out about that.
I wonder if we've heard of it before.
Someone else is
the denomination.
How do you say it again? Bealtaine. The thing you've been saying today is the Beltane. Happy May in Irish to all, particularly Marina.
Do you have any Irish in you, or are you all?
Yeah, my granddad was Irish. Like I'm like a quarter Irish.
Wow, I'm not. Just Scottish, who also celebrate Beltane. So we're good. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
And Banksy is, of course,
Irish.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
Yeah. So my mum had like a Irish dad. You can imagine the vibe.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Actually, that checks out with everything I know about your lineage.
Yeah. Whatever you're imagining, it's that for sure.
I hear so many lovely things about Ireland.
Yeah. Green and lovely. So is England though. But I've never gone to Ireland, so I'm yet to see the distinction. Maybe there isn't that much of one, but it's just a different.
In England, I think the main difference is in England, they tolerate being English. And in Ireland, they hate English.
Oh, they hate the English.
Yeah.
Right.
In the way that they do.
In the way that even the English hate the English.
That's what I'm saying. They tolerate it. Yeah. You think you'll end up back there?
It's just, it's so tough. It's so tough to get Jared a visa.
Ew.
It's like in America, you can just be married and you get a green card. In England, you have to make quite a lot of money and also jump through all these different hoops. And even if you get a job, you have to like be in the job for 6 months before you can get your partner a visa. But it's like, I don't live there. So like, how am I supposed to like come home with it? It's just a nightmare. But we're trying to work it out. I'm also open to opportunities from the universe to give me $116,000 right now. Just throwing that out there, because that is one way you can bypass the income requirements.
I mean, it was just your resistance to that before that was making it impossible. But now the universe knows you're open to it.
Now that I've become energetically open to someone giving me $116,000, it's not like you pay $116,000 for the visa. You just have to have $116,000.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah. So I'll get to keep the money if you give it to me.
Jesus, I've never even imagined
it's not
seeing
going to the
that
government.
much.
Don't worry.
When I do those little like visualize yourself in your ultimate success. Now take a look at your bank account. How much is in there? And I'm like, $10,000. That would be so sick.
Your wildest comprehension. Yeah. I know it's like such a like obvious point, but it really is mind blowing how much like a billionaire could change
everything.
So many people's life, and it's just I can't imagine not liking the sound of doing that. Like, wouldn't that be so the best feeling in the world to be able to do that?
But you don't get to be a billionaire by pursuing that group of emotions and experiences. And they really could make such a difference, but instead they would rather change the world for ill to avoid paying even 1% tax. Yay, I love it here.
We've always been a pro-billionaire channel.
Well, we are billionaires ourselves.
Due to the fact that we did manifest.
We're just temporarily embarrassed billionaires.
As they all are at some point, you know?
I just keep thinking about that video of Bezos. Well, William Shatner, just fresh from space.
This is like, what has devastated
humanity,
us
the planet.
Recently.
It's all beautiful and we're one. And Jeff Bezos is just like, champagne!
William Shatner trying to say the most earnest, beautiful. Oh, I couldn't bear to watch that. That's like hard. Oh, you caught up on the rehearsal?
Yes.
Who's watching the rehearsal?
Nathan Fielder is such a little freak, a little psycho
fucking love
freak.
It's so good that he's able to be like a genius TV guy, because he could be a serial killer in a different situation.
Yes.
Like he's got a level of genius that could be used for so much evil, but he's using it for good.
He's using it for evil for good.
No, he's using it for good this season so far.
Yeah, for good so far. He's definitely gone from just like terrorizing normal people to just like kind of humiliating and terrorizing normal people for
but not really
I mean, I felt bad for the people in the singing competition.
Yeah, but they just wanted a chance to like sing on a camera. It's fine. It's I thought and I thought it was so beautiful how that woman got the best scores and
I know, I love her.
And then her having to sit with that sexist pilot.
God,
sorry if you haven't seen the rehearsal. But you genuinely should start it tonight. It's on Max.
Yeah, definitely.
Formerly known as HBO Max.
So dumb. After you're done watching The Sopranos, just mosey on over to the rehearsal. We got some good TV. In light of everything going on, all the terrors of the world in today, we do have some really good TV. Hacks. Wow, last episode made me cry.
I love the new Jewish woman that's working for Jimmy and Kayla. They are always my favorite part of the show.
They're so funny.
I watch the show for them more than Deborah and Ava.
Wow. Yeah. Phenomenal. That show is perfect. It's a perfect show.
Am I allowed to take a bathroom break really quick while you just kind of
catch up on the comments? Hold what's going on. Mixolydia says, I'm late, but I feel like my tendency to just wallow in my self-analysis black hole, but I feel like it doesn't take me any close to getting better. I assume shadow work is more purposeful. Okay, that's real. You can get to a point of just like endless rumination. And I've done that with like journaling, for instance, where you're just like, okay, I've like written about this so much and analyzed it from every angle. And at this point, I'm just like feeding my anxieties about this. Shadow work, I'd say is a little bit more, not just examining what's difficult, but like for me has been partly like delving also into like, okay, when was the first time I felt this way? How does that, going back to childhood and seeing the way that certain patterns have played out and being like, okay, well, how do I seek out my needs and desires or even see the ways that I've acted poorly from these long held cyclical, behavioral patterns. How do I integrate these things into my life so that they're not showing up on accident, if that makes any sense. 10 Red Lipstick says Ireland is much less developed and populated. Read colonialism, much more like Wales and Scotland than England. Fair enough.
I heard we were talking about overanalyzing ourselves.
Oh, yeah. You don't know anything about that, right?
Never done it.
Y'all learned any good coping skills lately? Yeah, I highly recommend watching The Sopranos.
Read my Substack. Negative visualization. If you just got here.
I've been doing yoga with Adrienne pretty much every morning or going on a little run. That's been nice.
A little run is so impressive.
Yeah.
I just started running a little bit again before I got sick. People always talk about like they're not sure where to start with shadow work. And I feel like it doesn't have to be this whole like formal thing.
No.
I feel like that card touched on it really well when it's like whatever you're like afraid to look at in yourself or like, you know, that's where you can start.
Yeah, and whatever you feel ashamed about, you don't want people to know about you that, you know, can be like your bad side or whatever.
Whatever you struggle to accept about yourself. Because it's okay to like have certain kinds of like desires to change, but you also do need to like love and accept yourself where you are through understanding kind of why you are that way.
There are some great YouTube videos about it. And unfortunately, do you ever find yourself listening to an AI video and then you're like, this is an AI video?
I think that's
but it has been really well aggregated.
Yeah.
There's like whole Carl Jung channels that are all AI.
Yes.
But it's like, damn, they really did get this information all really straightforward, which is nice. But I do feel guilty. But this is me integrating my shadow side.
Okay, kind of a recommendation is you can get a shadow work journal on Amazon, and those are pretty good because they
Speaking of shadow sides,
if you just want like something to prompt you, you know,
integrate your rampant consumerism side, order a book from Amazon.
I also think another great thing is to really notice what irritates you the most in other people, because then that's a really good indication to what you kind of like don't allow in yourself. Not even to say that you should allow it. Like if you're like really personally offended if someone's late a lot, then maybe you like don't let yourself be late, or you like assign like some kind of moral. It is good to be on time. I'm not. Yeah. It's maybe a weak example, but you get the vibe.
I think that's a good example. I that's usually my first impulse is like when, just because I'm in the habit now. It always have been. Also, just like Mormon guilt in general is constantly just being like, okay, when do I do this exact same thing?
Yeah.
And then being like, oh shit, I have my own way of doing that, or that's how it shows up for me in this way.
Yeah, especially because it's so easy to be so mean or judgmental of like low level like perceived things that other people do wrong. And it's like, think how many low things of like the same level of seriousness that you have and how you would want someone to be kind to you about them because maybe you're trying.
Yeah, it's like maybe your capo is 15 minutes late to your mob meeting and it's not actually an insult. Maybe he really was stuck in traffic, and maybe you could be more understanding because you show up 15 minutes late to dinner with your wife.
Or you could do a horse head in the bed.
Exactly.
You've always got choices.
When someone did that to me, I was like, how do I do this in my own way? What's my horse head in the bed?
I try really hard to not be judgmental. I hope it makes up for all my years of being a super judgy as a Mormon. I know, right? When someone says a specific insult and you think, do you dislike that about yourself? Yes, I do feel like we easily tell on ourselves with the ways we'll talk about other people.
Oh, going back to The Sopranos. We don't have to go back to The Sopranos.
I'm going to have to watch it.
Yeah. Just the way that they all like shame each other for doing the same thing that they all do in private, just because there's this like understanding that it's wrong to be this way, even though there's like not a specific person that would be like, hey, that's bad.
Right.
That just clanged for The Sopranos. So that's my sign from the universe to just keep banging this horse head dead. I'm going to take a bathroom. Actually, I'll wait.
Wait till the end.
I have some respect.
Oh my God, but what am I going to do during your bathroom break?
You sing a little song, do a little dance.
Start leaving me comments now. Emily said, just hopping onto your live. Always great to watch you guys while working. Thank you, Emily. Congrats on the working.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing your paycheck, some of your paycheck with us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. The horsehead thing is a Godfather thing.
Yeah, that's a movie I've seen and enjoyed.
Yeah. Damn. we've been saying for years that we were going to watch The Godfather Part 2, and we never have.
We just never have.
I think I'm going to have to just do it on my own after this bathroom
Have you
break.
not seen it?
No.
Guys, help me out with this bathroom break, or I'm going to have a meltdown. There's my favorite podcast is called 10% Happier, and the host is this guy Dan Harris, who is a news anchor. I've been too off to the side. And he got into meditation basically because he had a panic attack live on air while struggling with cocaine addiction, I believe. And I just really relate to that. Not the cocaine addiction, just the it's crazy to me that people would just sort of be on TV, be on the news, be in these really intense public speaking settings, and like that people usually can keep going. I don't know. You don't see as many meltdowns as you think. But then I guess the people that are most likely to be on TV or something have a lot of practice. What's your favorite bird? So I used to go, I don't think I have an answer, is probably the answer, but I grew up going bird watching with my grandma, and she would take, we would bring binoculars and we would go on these walks where you walk out to this like bird watching hut in the middle of the English countryside. And when you go inside the hut, it's like deadly silent. And there's this little window that you open and you peer out with the binoculars and you see better birds that way. And so I grew up doing that, but I didn't really like learn. I mean, I could name like a Canada goose, but that's about it. And then I kind of enjoyed it for like the walking with my grandma aspect, but didn't really care that much about the birds. And then now I have friends who are into bird watching, and I think there's something about it. I think there's really something. Oh, Banksy might be about to throw up. He's sniffing violently. Anyway, from talking more to bird watchers as I've got older, it seems like there's something that helps you be really present even in regular life where you're not actively bird watching through bird watching, because you might be out and about and you're like, oh, that's that bird that is not that common to hear. And it's just, I like the thought of that kind of like anchoring in the present moment. Before I was a bit like, what's the point of bird watching? You're kind of just like categorizing things, which doesn't speak to me. But now I'm seeing the appeal, because I'll go for walks with friends and they'll, through song, know what bird is up there. And I think that is kind of amazing. Obviously, crows. We're all a big fan of crows.
Love their songs. So beautiful.
I held court on bird watching while you were gone.
Oh, nice.
And it was fine.
Are you talking about our birder friends?
I did talk about our birder friends, yeah.
Ellen and Drew are really good at it.
They really are.
They're like, yellow thatched heron, blue crested tittywwank.
I also think it would help my eyesight if I got more into bird watching, because I'm realizing how Andrew Huberman just did an episode on how to improve your vision. And I do worry about that. And I've noticed that I really don't look out. My vision is bad far away. And I really don't look out into the distance enough, because, you know, everything's sort of, I think bird watching is a good way to sharpen your vision.
Yeah, definitely.
Tittywang.
I swear all birders and bird namers are the biggest bunch of perverts you ever did meet.
Okay, I love how you can find stuff out by listening to birds and how their calls change when predators are around, like a cat, and it's super obvious. I love that.
Oh, someone told me, I think it was Ellen, told me about that with chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dees. That it's like fewer chickadees is good, or maybe it's more. I don't remember. But something for all you little chickadees out there.
Something to think about. Any advice for overcoming nihilism? Asking for a friend. First of all, I would say subscribe to No Nonsense Spirituality, because she's does
so good.
Probably the best content I've seen on overcoming nihilism.
Definitely. It is.
It's a tough one, that, because I feel like when you're in nihilism, no school of thought really appeals to you enough to follow it. It's like you kind of just have to trust the unfolding of things.
Exactly. And it's hard to say like, oh, you just need to do things that give you a sense of purpose and belonging.
Because I really relate to when you just, nothing does.
Yeah. And you're like, well, if there is no point and if I feel pointless, then doing these things isn't going to do it jack shit for me.
Perhaps an Adderall prescription to give you some artificial interest in things for a while. I know that people can be obviously nihilistic for like their whole lives and stuff, but I think it's kind of good to sort of see nihilism as like a phase. Like it's something that a lot of people go through. It's kind of like the archetypal desert where you don't really know where water's going to come from, and everything feels sparse, but there is like richness to be found in the experience still.
Yeah, and a maturity that's gained from it, and also a belonging, because it's part of like intellectual growth, and anyone who is able to be like a mature adult in this world, I think, has to have some brush with that. And so there is like a communal knowing from that experience of being like, oh shit, like lots of people have gone through this and have come out the other side and have offered something beautiful in response. And a lot of what it requires of us is to access those parts of us that have been shut down or neglected, in order. It's like it requires us to go within and to like make a life that is purposeful and intentional and creative, etc.
Yeah, and I think you just have to trust that things will unfold with time and reveal themselves, because chances are, however nihilistic you are, there's something you care about, you know? And like for me, when I was really in nihilism, it's like the first something was like on a whim, I got a kitten. And then that became like the one I was like, well, I'm responsible for this tiny animal. So like, if nothing else, like that responsibility kind of anchored me to some sense of meaning. And then having a kitten then led me to like learning about like veganism and animal abuse. And so I was like, well, I also care about not contributing to that. So then like veganism weirdly became a thing that pulled me out of night. And then it's like things just got added over the years. But it's hard because I feel like coming out of a religion like Mormonism or something like that, it's kind of like all these parts of you have been like kept hidden from yourself for so long. And the one thing that was there has been taken away. So it feels like there's nothing there, but you have to trust that there's always things that will emerge.
Yeah, there's definitely like when religion or philosophy, whatever was holding you together before, is gone, it creates this vacuum and this gaping hole that makes it feel like there's nothing there. But yeah, it can be filled. And I hate to be the guy that's like drugs, but psychedelics were really beneficial to me to get me out of. I mean, they've done studies on depression and its correlation with language, and the people who are super depressed, and I could see this in myself, that it's like this narrowing of this optical lens of reality, that it's only on you. Like, I'm this lone, trapped person in this dark and dreary world, and there's nothing around me, and I can't fully connect with people. And psychedelics, that suppressing of the egoic structure and kind of the realizing the way that everything is interconnected, was really helpful for me in being like, oh, it isn't all about me, and it is all about me, and this is all me, and we're all in this together. And this is a frightening, horrifying, terrible existence in a lot of ways that we counter with beauty and connection and creativity and live streaming.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Hopefully that's not too dismissing. We do know, we are familiar with the thralls of nihilism, and it's, you know, maybe not even something that always goes away fully. Maybe it's a part of me that's like integrated now, realizing that there's that like hopeless, sad, dreary, dark, depressed part of me that I'm like, hey, you're invited here too. You can hang out in the car, you just can't drive.
No Nonsense Spirituality is the YouTube channel I mentioned.
Yeah, she's so good. Go over there. Way better than us.
Way better than us.
She deserves all the accolades. Who just quoted her? Was it Rhett from Rhett and Link?
Probably. Yeah. A lot of famous people follow her.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
Yeah, she's so good. If you were Joseph Smith, you would ask your followers to donate 10% of their income for the wisdom of your life.
And we're not afraid to voluntarily ask you guys to give 10% of your income for the wisdom of our live stream. We're not going to impose it, but we don't think it's a bad idea.
Now, you know the deal that we made. You give 10% of your income, and then we get 5% on top of the shy, whatever that means.
She just grabbed chapstick.
I have noticed myself, just because, like I said, I had an allergy, bad allergy spell upon arriving back in Utah. So I was just kind of isolated, and The Sopranos have been my main social support network. and I find myself slipping into mobster speak and
that's okay.
Italian speak. So if I find myself slipping into it, you know why. And I think I'm just gonna adopt that as a full part of my identity.
I treat my depression and nihilism like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. His friends don't try to change him; they take him on adventures. I love that. Nemo gave me, where is it? The Tao of Pooh for Christmas, and yeah, Winnie the Pooh really is so Taoist.
They say there's no atheists in foxholes. I say there's no nihilists on a jet ski.
Facts. Hard to be depressed on a jet ski.
Yeah, I haven't been on a jet ski in years, but I'm
a bike as well. Something
a bike
about
is
that.
probably
I
even
think
more
there's
wholesome.
Certain feelings of like self-generated speed that can sort of, like, as in not an engine, but maybe an engine too.
No, bikes are the shit.
I think another tip for nihilism is like seek novelty in whatever ways. Just like it doesn't forget meaning. Just like kind of pursue novelty for a while. Like try and do some new things.
Yeah, and the flip side of nihilism, which is like nothing matters. No, there's no great underlying purpose. Nothing is like leading up to this great sensibleness. Is like the other side is like, oh my God, nothing matters, and a full embrace of absurdism and whimsy. So I think whimsy is a great.
Yeah, just get whimsical. It's easy. Even
who out there whimsy maxing?
Inside of you are two mobsters. One is named Tony. The other is also named Tony.
And they are vying for power, but they're both getting therapy. Also, ducks, maybe the StreamYard duck, big part of the symbolic journey. So it's all coming back together.
Yeah.
And if you need purpose, it could be this live stream. And
yeah. The StreamYard duck's ways are higher than our ways.
Absolutely.
And he is orchestrating a plan so grand. We could never.
Yeah.
We could never. Did I have any other topics I wanted to make sure we
hit in this great grand
No, not really. I mean,
live
it was
stream?
Mostly Gwyneth's return to bread and cheese, me obviously being a rising philosophy Substack star, the flu.
Oh my God, I saw a clip of George Bush the other day and it made him seem like
so
number
much.
33 on philosophy Substack. I was like, wow, the dumbest president we ever had before this actually
smart.
seems like a
I saw a clip
genius.
of him the other day and I was like, what a nice man.
Wow, what times?
Sigrid Land, my New Year's resolution for the last 3 years has been to live vivaciously, and it's pretty effective for cultivating whimsy. Love that. What are some examples of how you live vivaciously? Engines definitely count. Okay, yeah, sorry. There is no joy like driving a motorbike. But sometimes I just go to like Moab or somewhere in nature and everyone's on a four-wheeler, or like when you're on the river and everyone's in a speedboat and you're like, can we just like do things without an engine?
That's what I was thinking about the jet ski.
You know, yeah. Like
what a paddleboard.
Yeah, nice paddleboard. Or like a bike, you can still go fast.
We are slightly Luddite.
We are not anti-jet ski though. We would ride one if you invited us on your boat.
Yeah, take us to Lake Powell this summer. I'll take back everything I've said about it.
Yep, as we have been for the last 10 years, we are always available for summer Lake Powell invitations. Do not be afraid to extend them. All the people throughout the year that are like, how can I become your friend in real life? But there's so many. It's like, here's where the rubber meets the road. Invite us to Lake Powell. That's how. Just letting myself have fun when the opportunity reveals itself. Sometimes it's easy. Other times it's a push. Yeah. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, give into it.
That's what I'm always saying. And I'm just always just giving in. I'm a bitch for joy. Just total sub. I'm like, you want to take me? Take me.
Yeah. I
don't miss a beat. I'll feel joy for nothing.
Like that. Aw. $10.69. From Robina, who said, general tarot reading? Oh, yeah.
You got it.
General and deeply personalized to you at the behest of the StreamYard duck himself. What does behest mean? Like, what's the difference between behest and request?
Maybe it's just like their desire versus like a formal...
Like mingled with action.
Let's get an actual definition here.
I'm losing it. Hi, greetings from Italy.
Oh, I just watched the best Sopranos episode. I'll stop.
I think my problem is feeling like everything has to have meaning. How do you find whimsy in your life? For some reason, it's so hard for me. You know, I don't know the general answer for how do you find whimsy in your life, but I think if you start looking for where there's like a spark of curiosity in your brain, you start seeing more. And it's not always obvious, but I think there's like a bit of a noticing skill to it.
Oh, noticing, huge. As creativity is a huge part of my life and my healing and my, antidote to nihilism, the first practice of any art isn't drawing, it's not playing, it's noticing.
It's being on your phone for 2 hours.
It's being on your phone for 2 hours and seeing what sparks joy. No, like if you want to be a good drawer, for instance, the thing that makes you good at it is being able to pay attention to the details, the way that things are in proportion to each other in relation to other things, the actual form that they take versus like the image that we have of it in our brain. And same thing with music. It's like listening and noticing.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who recently did the artist's way, shaking
How'd
up
that reading week go, or anti-reading week?
the anti-reading, I was so far ahead of the game on that. It feels good to be back on reading. But doing things, if we want to have a different mindset than we have, we need to be having different inputs. So taking a different route to work, a different route on your walking journey. She has like a practice where you're like, look for like 5 little rocks or something along the way. I did that and I was like, this was such a better walk than my normal walk because I had this like objective that was forcing me to notice things that I didn't notice otherwise. And that alone was just really healthy for my brain. So even if it's not like, dressing different than you normally dress, go to the DI, find like something that sparks joy that's maybe outside of your normal wardrobe and try it.
I also think if you're struggling to notice, one good tip can be like spending more time letting yourself be bored, like getting off your phone being the most significant one. But sometimes it's like we're not noticing where there's a spark in us because when it's like dulled by the fact that we're like dopamine flooding constantly. So that's just something to be aware of.
Thank God The Sopranos isn't on my phone.
Thank God, Tanner. You really are talking about The Sopranos a lot, actually.
Yeah. I knew I would, and I told you I would.
I was kind of thinking I'd be all right with it.
But it's reached
the tides are starting to turn for me.
Okay, I will stop.
We have to do this quick terror for Rabina, and then we have another super chat to read.
Oh my God.
And then simply who knows what might happen. The stone.
The stone.
The stone.
I will be your standing stone. I will stand by you. Show them what's going on here.
As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us, as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go, therefore it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to earth, helping to ground and connect us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it's likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. Noticing. Or get stoned, yeah.
There you go.
That can help you notice.
Yeah, it can.
We have a super chat, a family super chat from Lindsay. If the universe ever bestowed ungodly amounts of money on me, you would be some of the first to know because my live donation would have more zeros. Just even the 1 0 means so much though, Lindsay.
We're manifesting you being a billionaire too.
Yeah.
The first ethical billionaire. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you.
That is so nice.
Should we do a tarot reading for her as well?
I don't want to saturate if people want.
Well,
because I do feel like in these streams, every tarot applies to all of us.
It does. Also, can we just talk about the power of travel? As someone who recently traveled to a far city, it's good to shake things up and to mingle with people that you don't know and to like reconnect with the human experience that is more universal than the geopolitical, linguistic, cultural boundaries that divide us.
Yeah. And it's also in other ways good to not travel.
Yeah.
And I think
if you're an immigrant
trying
in
to
this country.
capture the spirit of that where you live as well, you know?
Yeah.
But travel is nice because there's a lot of novelty just built into everything. So you tend to be more present.
Yeah.
But there's probably a lot of novel places you haven't been to in your own city.
Oh, yeah. Try eating at a new restaurant, going to a new cafe, looking for a new park.
Going to the Joseph Smith Sphinx.
Yeah. I feel like a new person every time I walk out of the Gilgal Gardens.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not because of the ritual I do there at the feet of Mr. Brickpants.
Not because of the Mr. Brickpants blood ritual. Guys, at Britt Hartley's No Nonsense Spirituality, who we just talked about, recommendation, I just held a funeral for my prior relationship with God and the church. So healing, went to a lakeside chirping birds. I love that. I love that.
That's beautiful.
I
really do like that.
Why is the stone giving me return the slab, courage the cowardly dog energy? I'm not familiar with that reference.
I'm familiar with Courage the Cowardly Dog as a concept, but I don't think I've ever watched an episode. It kind of weirded me out as a kid.
I'm thinking of Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah,
you guys have that one?
Different canine. We do.
Okay.
We do. And boy, did he make a splash.
A big one.
Yeah, huge.
Big red one.
Oh, God. Who cleans up after that dog?
Clifford?
Yeah.
Self-cleaning.
Yeah.
Magic?
I hope it's magic because that
Spells.
would be a tough chore every day. How
Heavy.
often do dogs relieve themselves?
More than I'd like.
What's he eating? And who's paying for it? Mexico.
The less time I spend on my phone, the more likely I am to be creative. Isn't that the annoying truth? I've been trying really hard to stay off social media and it helps. Yes.
It really does. It's so hard being a modern human and feeling the tendrils of social media always like pulling you in, especially if your career is associated with it. But boy, can it just suck out your life force.
And I always have this like delusional story running in the background that's like, once I'm financially secure enough, then I won't feel like I need to check it as much. Sam, I think that's a lie. I think that's just because, let's be real, the social media addiction is a separate problem from it being your job. It doesn't exactly help, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I think I missed it. What book/cards are you reading? Oh, this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes Guidebook.
By Kim.
It's like a Jungian themes type
Kim Kranz.
deck. Yeah. What else do we need to catch up on? Are you reading anything else? You read Slaughterhouse 5. Are you keeping the momentum up?
Yeah, I read another book that I got in New York called Aquaviva. It was more like...
Oh, the one that Landon gave me in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I read that at the perfect time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I kind of felt like it was like just poetic Eckhart Tolle back in the day from a woman who thought she was crazy because of it. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, it was perfect. Just like stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
Poetic. Rorschach writing.
And it was interesting because it was written in the 70s and everyone in like the preface was like, this was a brand new style of writing. Never before. And I was like, really? I feel like, but it was like things are new when they're new.
Yeah.
But now it just felt so normal, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosie, for the super chat. Our first YouTube super chat of the stream. Congrats.
Thanks, Rosie.
I
feel like I've seen that name here before. Is that real?
Probably. Kempo, 19, recent ex-Mormon. Church drove me crazy simply with the contradictory theology. Once I started watching ex-Mo content, it was very cathartic. Thanks for the content. You're welcome.
Yeah. That looks like an interesting deck with elements from alchemy. The I Ching can also
giving me anxiety. I'm late, but looking at the news, I'm worried about Sam. Yeah, me too. Working on it. Don't talk about it if you don't want to. Just a scary time to be a green card holder. But I'm obeying the law. And we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll see how getting back in after Iceland goes.
I know. I cancelled my trip home to England in August, but I still have to go to Iceland because it's like for work. But I don't want to be in ICE detention, even though there's no reason I would be.
From Iceland to Iceland.
Well,
hell of a memoir chapter, though.
Yeah. And also, there's one of those. Yeah, I actually can't talk about this. I have been writing about it on my paid Substack, and I think there's going to be some more Patreon stuff about it. I do have one video about it. Yeah. If anyone owns a welding company in the UK, let me know. Sam and Tana, I went to BYU Idaho with you and remember reposting a Valentine's video you made.
Oh my God.
Deep track.
That is such a deep cut. Wow.
So we did a video where Tana basically just like carted me around campus and tried to get someone to marry me.
This was in the era of flash mobs, by the way. So what we did is we walked around and I was like, will you be this girl's Valentine? She's from England. She's never had a Valentine. Will you be her Valentine?
Because we wanted to get me a green card.
Yeah, exactly. We've been doing this a long time. We've been doing this green card business.
I know, and that's why I'm going to end up in detention.
So then I would ask people if they'd be her Valentine, and if they said yes, then all of a sudden this flash mob would come out from nowhere, and they had all these like signs and hearts and confetti and whatever. And then, a preacher would come and perform their wedding on the spot. Little surprise wedding.
I actually hated that. That was one of those classic ideas where I didn't fully know what I was getting into. Like when
you and they hated it too. Everybody involved hated it except me, who had a great time.
Aaron also had me be in a video where he was doing like this prank video where I had to try and kiss people, but I didn't know when I signed up to be like in this like campus reality show video type. I didn't know I was gonna have to kiss people.
When the theme of the video was you kissing people.
Yeah, I just didn't really think about it. I was just kind of up for anything, and then I would get there and be like, oh, yeah, nightmare.
Oopsie,
nightmare.
Yeah, that green card scheme didn't work, but we're on to the next one, which is if you need a welder.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe you remember that.
That's that really
so fun to hear about. It's on the internet somewhere. You can find it. Is that on our How to College channel? Is that still around?
Yes, I don't know. I think we changed it to like Sam and Tana.
Oh, yeah.
And then it probably, unfortunately, does still exist. I would implode with embarrassment on the spot if a flash mob appeared. Yes. And I think that's such a core thing to me as a human being. But at that time in my life, I hadn't yet learned that about myself. So I was just like, I'll participate in your flash mob style video to anyone who asked.
Any rogue bimbo off the street. A blonde
British girl in the communications department at BYU Idaho, everyone's asking.
Yeah. I love that we just refuse to do normal school projects. We're like, no, we're going to do a comedy video.
We will be doing a YouTube channel, sir. That worked out well for us, though.
It actually did.
Kind
now
of
we have a career in
that our college class project turned into paying our rent every month.
Yeah.
Amazing. And that this time next week will be the finale of Tennis Shoes Among the Nephites, a 15-month project they never saw coming.
Damn.
Iconoclastic in the space.
Can't believe they never invite us back to give motivational speeches about our success in the comm department.
I know.
A Gordon B. Hinckley Award winner.
I was once in the scroll after graduating for Millennial Mormons.
Oh, wow. Well, I once had a parody newspaper of the scroll.
And I loved it. I was your number one reader.
Any other BYU Idahites out there? Any anti-Nehi Levi's out there in the chat? Any frozen chosen out there? Still recovering from your experience? I every single winter brace myself for the worst cold I can imagine.
And then it's not a Rex,
and then it's not a Rexburg. It still gets me every single year. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just traumatized from Rexburg.
Yeah, it really was traumatizing. I joined the Patreon for Tennis Shoes and have caught up on all the other readings in the last year. That is all the other readings like Jack.
Wow.
Even if just Tennis Shoes, impressive. If Jack as well.
And
send us your medical bill. We'll see what we can do.
I think it's safe to say the Lindsay is greener on the other side of all that watching.
Yeah, wow.
Well done. Well done.
I might need to take another bathroom break. I'm so
another bathroom break. Welcome to the Tiny Bladder Committee. This is what you signed up for. Dodged a bullet, TOT. What does TOT mean? Almost went to BYU-I, and I'm so happy I never did. Prue, seriously, dodged such a bullet made of ice. Because, wow. My cousin took me to visit the campus and told me my shoes weren't appropriate because they didn't have a back on the hill. That's right. Satan wins every time he sees heel skin. Ankles, such a victory for Satan. You might as well sign up for your place in the Celestial Kingdom if you're going to be showing ankle on the Lord's University's campus. Oh, TOTS is the cry emoji. Okay. Learning things, listening, learning. Banksy, do you have any insights to share while you're here? Wouldn't it be so crazy and wonderful if Banksy could just speak a few words in English right now, and then we could never prove it for some reason? The like video glitched afterward, and it wasn't recorded, but we all knew that, but we didn't have a way of like talking about it in person. Wouldn't that be crazy? I wish that would happen. Maybe in the next life. Satan does love clogs. That's so real. Banksy is fluent in Latin, but he refuses to speak it out of respect for the fallen Pope. Oh, Sam, I forgot. This was going to be the video where we announce our candidacy for Pope. Yep, we're throwing our hat in the ring, our pointy little hat into the ring to become Pope. It's, as far as I know, hasn't ever been shared by two people, except for when, you know, they were at odds with each other and dividing the church and whatnot. But we think we can do it, a co-seat. If Trump can be in the running, then surely we have a shot, right? Don't you think? About us becoming the Pope? A pair of popes? I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Okay, I got the Pope hope in me. And I think we can do it. Greetings from Finland. Love these ideas to address nihilism. Oh, thank you. I feel like Finland knows about that. I feel like Scandinavia has grappled and is grappling with nihilism in a way that a lot of countries aren't. Is that so?
Maybe I couldn't be the Pope, but if we're doing kind of like we're kind of like a yin yang Pope, if you will. Like we are masculine, feminine. Together, we are one Pope.
Yeah.
We don't have what it takes individually for popehood.
No, we're two cardinals in a Pope robe, like on each other's shoulders, and we rotate who's up. Yeah.
Buy one, get one free Pope. Yeah. People want to bargain these days.
BOGO Pope.
BOGO Pope. Things to consider.
The church is always evolving, including on evolution, hopefully.
We're so lucky to live in a time where the BOGO Pope has been revealed.
We're going to be up there, you know, when the Pope is there at the window addressing the masses in the Vatican. It's going to be just such a show there. Yeah.
We're having Paris Hilton do the ceremony when we get sworn in. How does it work? I don't know.
Techno Pope is going to be so fun. It's going to be lit.
BOGO Techno.
We're Vaticans, not Vaticans.
Yeah. Whole new attitude, new branding. New logo. I think we'll do a new logo.
Catholic Church is younger and sexier than ever. I heard from probably a TikTok comment that the church didn't require priests to not be married until like the 12th century or something. So that they couldn't inherit land and, sequester that from the grubby paws of the king and the other nobility. Smart, huh?
Wait, sorry, what? Can you repeat that?
The church used to allow marriage. Right, it was like not a thing. Mm-hmm. And then there was too many priests getting married, inheriting and passing along property to their offspring. They were like, we need to stop the church from having offspring so that they can't pass on the land, so that
because the church's land kept going to the popes.
It's always been a power thing between the monarchy and the papacy.
But how does whether or not they have kids affect whether they get land?
They can't pass on land to an inheritor like the way that the monarchy does. Sneaky. Yeah.
Got to cut costs though.
You got to.
A lot of gold in all of the buildings. So
yeah. Under our papacy,
they got doged. They took away his right to a wife.
They dodged a bullet. That means they took it right in the face. Under our papacy, they still can't get married, but they can fuck around. That's fine now.
Okay.
Yeah, priests can be in situationships that are ambiguous and stressful, but ultimately leave them stronger and better for it and more sure of what they actually want. Polycules allowed.
The first Pope polycule.
A poppycule. If your parents weren't married in a Catholic church, your gender and beliefs are the least of what's keeping you out of the conclave. Yeah, all right. The conclave. I mean,
you saw Conclave, right?
Not yet.
Hannah, you'll love it. You have to watch it now, tonight. What are you doing?
I'm watching Conclave. Good. I'm watching The Sopranos. What do you think?
No, take a break. This is more culturally relevant.
This will give me some background into what's going on in The Sopranos. Yeah, it makes the Pope being dead
so much more interesting.
Yeah.
It's a perfect time to watch Conclave.
Totally. There never was a better time. So sad about this Pope, right? Even though, the Catholic Church obviously still has its issues.
He was a relatively good one.
He was a relatively good one.
Good.
He was
like, imagine when they, and I don't know to what degree this narrative is entirely accurate, but it does sound like there was a journalist who he credits with like helping change his mind about the sex abuse stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was like, oh, it is happening. I didn't realize I was wrong. Can you imagine that happening?
A religious leader of an international faith organization, one of the largest and oldest in the world, saying, I'm sorry. Now I know better and I'm doing better. We may never see the likes again.
How ticklish are you?
I'm not even going to say because I do not want to invite any tickling into my life.
Me neither.
None
I'm
whatsoever.
10 out of 10 ticklish.
It's a cruel and
I'm brave enough to say it because I'm not worried you're going to tickle me. Also, I would never tickle you. Can you imagine?
No.
It's the most un-British thing.
Yeah. I guess I'm probably ticklish, but I don't like it. I do not want to be tickled.
It's like abuse to me.
I only want to be tickled on the funny bone, and that's where hacks comes in.
Banksy's never heard of any church.
What makes me laugh?
Sopranos. Let me guess.
People falling down hills.
Slipping on banana peels.
The classics. Getting hit in the crotch with a baseball.
Okay, the way that like home video injury clip shows were in both of our respective countries, many different shows, such a big part of our upbringing, not good.
Yeah, not good.
Cannot have raised an empathetic. I see one video now, like at the gym or something, of like, someone having an injury, being like just falling over in a way. Like, what would be pleasant about watching that? Why would you come home from a long day of work, turn on one of the 30 channels you have on your TV and choose to watch that?
Because you're like, that schmuck is having a worse day than me. Ha ha ha.
Not good.
Okay, but watch this clip. Never mind, can't find it. Bored.
And Banksy does reside at the head of our Patreon community, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. He's Pope
wanting to join his church.
I was going to say he's the Pope, but Bernie's obviously the Pope. They're just painting him right there as the Pope. So,
America's Funniest Videos. Yeah, in England it was called You've Been Framed.
You've Been Framed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It had like a sassy fat lady presenting
connotation to it.
You've been framed. Yeah, I know. Like it was like they set you up for this.
Yeah, and like, I think you're being tried for murder. Ha 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 ha.
Sometimes I think the Friends did though, and the existence of the show probably encouraged it.
Yeah.
And you would get £250 if your video was shown.
Oof.
It's like encouraging the poors to hurt themselves for £250.
Oh, can't be understated. The malevolent culture of early reality TV.
Horrid.
Yeah. 2000s hidden camera shows. Ooh. Grim.
And that's how come you can only have one drink a night on Love Island UK now.
Oh, shit.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them. On the old seasons of Love Island UK, they would just be like smoking. And like, just first of all, just smoking in the villa is crazy to imagine that on a TV show now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, getting wasted on a reality TV show. Nightmare. Nightmare.
It's been us a few times.
That's
on
true.
This reality
I'm
TV.
not above cracking out a Vizzy on the live stream.
Our fucking Finnegan's Wake live stream.
Yes. Some of our best live streaming work, some people say.
Definitely. Thankfully today we have nice normal things like prank YouTubers.
Oh.
Grim.
Have you seen like the content they make for kids on YouTube?
Yeah.
Like the slop kids. It is so scary.
Who did a whole thing on that?
So many people. Like
someone did like a commentary about that specifically.
Oh.
Like it wasn't ContraPoints, but somebody like ContraPoints.
Who would have done it that we both would have watched?
I feel like you sent it to me years ago, but yeah.
It's
scary.
Bad. It's really
Scary. I love the Finnegan's Wake era. Oh, you're a real one, a true one.
Why are British show titles in such a passive voice? Like, are you being served and you've been framed? I just think the British are passive. And I like that about us. But it has been a crushing thing for me to overcome in my life.
I hate when I see like on TikTok,
I love Taylor
men
Lorenz.
pranking their wives.
Yeah. No, especially any kind of prank that is like just dysregulating someone else.
Nope.
I hate that.
It. I only want to see positive
I like
pranking.
nice, yeah. exactly.
Though even those sometimes, apparently, now I'm getting all these reels of like the house remake scene. You know what I'm talking about? Where they go and they renovate someone's house, and then the person is like, I hate this.
That was my house.
And now I have to pay more taxes and I can't afford to live here.
Oof.
Yeah, I've been seeing a few of those. So even positive
Actually,
parenting
I haven't seen any of that.
My adult son shows me the stuff and I keep saying, don't give them the click. Yeah, that's good parenting. Well done, Bewitched. I need to see a notarized waiver before I can laugh at you pranking your spouse. Not quite, but you know.
Yeah, me too.
Literally. Like, I need to see her having signed this beforehand, knowing that it was for entertainment purposes only, and everyone here is a paid actor.
And what's so weird is there's a lot of like family vlog channels where like the very immature mum and dad of the family will like prank each other in ways that are just like so off.
Immature family vloggers. This is my first time hearing about the concept.
For kids. So like kids are learning about like the marital relationship through the lens of this stuff that is just so weird and like not humanizing, and there's a lot to be unpacked about that.
I think a lot of prank culture, comes from a need to do more drugs, honestly. Like BYU, Idaho, so many pranks all the time. It's like, we're going to break into someone's house.
Yeah.
We're going to rearrange all their furniture so that it is finals week and they've got a lot more pressing concerns to go on.
Oh my God,
and they haven't seen the sun in 9 months, but we're going to do this.
One time, me and my roommates, like, in BYU, Idaho, you share a bedroom. We like completely switched our 2 roommates' sides of the room. Like we switched everything from one, which like, I can't remember if they moved it back.
If someone did that to me
really
now,
annoying. Yeah,
they would see my most neurotic, aggressive, angry self.
Yeah.
They'd become acquainted with my shadow side.
Yeah, that is the type of thing you hate.
I heard of people like putting like dead fish in people's like air vents and shit.
Oh, we did that in my 6th form.
Maybe I heard that from you.
But it's like the prank was just on ourselves, so I don't really get the point.
Yeah. Pranks against systems of authority.
Beautiful.
Funny. Great. Against just people. I don't want to see it. I hate it knowing that someone's day has just been made worse for no reason. That's why I don't like Billy on the street. Billy Eichner.
I know.
Can't handle it. I'm like,
always thought
that person
too.
Doesn't deserve to be treated that way. Why are you going into acting like that?
Like, loved him in Parks and Rec.
Sure.
But yeah, I
just go up and scream at somebody. I'm like, get out of here.
And I'm like, do you think that those people get like, I think they probably do have to sign something before they film, but I don't know.
No,
I've never liked man on the street.
I love a good man on the street. I aspire to be a man on the street.
It's because you're good at it. You're good at thinking on your feet and keeping it going.
But I don't want to inconvenience anyone or make anyone feel bad or,
British people don't even assume that someone on the street would want to make eye contact with them. I feel like to approach them is like...
Right.
Pranks are jokes. Punching down is always gross.
It is. Just back to New York.
Yeah.
I went to Washington Square Park, which is beautiful, and such a vibe. Artists, performers, weed smokers everywhere. And I saw a couple TikTokers that I had known from TikTok there. I was like, damn, I want to go do that. I want to go just set up a little booth.
The anyone I knew?
There's a person dressed as like a pickle or something.
Okay.
Have you seen that person? But then like 2 days later, Lorde did a surprise concert there to release a new song. I was like, I could have been there.
What was that? Do you like the song?
Yeah, it's What Was That? I think is the name of the song.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that?
I've been listening.
Do you want to see me walk like Lorde? Okay.
Sam is doing her rap. Yeah, we'd love to see you walk like Lorde. I got a weird feeling in my tummy about Lorde because one time there was this video of her at a concert like shushing the audience during a certain part. But actually, if I look back, I'm like, that's just kind of a woman devoted to her craft in a certain way.
Like,
she wants everyone to hear her good vocals. Yeah. But it was kind of cringe to see at the time. What was that? So good. Yeah.
I've been just thinking about audience and the way that performers interact with audiences. And the hardest thing for me to witness is comedians who start negging the audience for not laughing enough.
I know.
I'm like, ooh, there's no faster way to get everybody to turn on you.
Audience.
Yeah, or just putting themselves down, being like, oh, I thought that one was gonna be funny. Like, you guys obviously don't think this. I'm like, don't.
It's like, you thought wrong. Don't disrespect us further.
Yeah. Like, just move on. Don't. Yeah. You're just digging yourself a deeper hole. Are you guys laughing? For people who haven't seen the video, Tanner just
Nobody wants
nailed
to
the walk.
laugh these
Thank you,
days.
Anxious Gary. I thought that was a spot on Lord walk.
Wow, tough crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, tough crowd. It's like, yo. And a lot of times there is laughter, but on stage, it's like not everyone is going to laugh all at the same time, all together,
like
or loudly.
To even have someone exhale through their nose genuinely is a huge compliment.
Yeah. So just don't assume that the audience is not on your side, because if you do, they won't be.
I don't even like the type of joke that is like setting up with the expectation of a laugh. I like jokes that can
You
pass.
Do. You're like a more...
Yeah.
It's like the humor of the experience.
There's like yeah, exactly. I like just like a monotone woman telling a really funny story. And it's like, I like when there's no pause for the funny bit, because that's like, yeah.
I don't go to comedy shows ever, but the one I went to last year was about 10 attendees and 4 feet away from the comedians. Ooh, rough. And the headliner did that thing asking why we weren't laughing. Nightmare situation. That's way too close.
Yeah. Did you watch Ted Lasso? I can't remember. Oh my God. You should watch
it. In my mind, it's for straight people only, but I don't know anything about it.
I know what you're saying, because it has that like Apple TV vibe, but like, well, by that I mean like shrinking, but it is really good. But it is like sort of like a heartwarming sitcom style, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Everybody loves Ted Lasso.
Like there's like I don't know but how do I explain it? Yeah, you're not wrong, but it's also, I still think you would enjoy it a lot.
No spoilers for Ted Lasso. You got it.
Yeah.
So we're only spoiling The Sopranos on this episode.
Yeah. You're allowed to spoil The Sopranos at this point. I really think I should try and watch Gilmore Girls. I've watched entire video essays about Gilmore Girls.
What if once I finish The Sopranos, we did it at the same time? Because then we could commiserate. Because that would be kind of fun.
About the Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we could do a video about it.
Yeah. If you guys think I'm bad now, you should have seen how insufferable I was after watching Game of Thrones 10 years after it was out.
Did you watch all of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I have multiple times now at this point.
I've like seen it, and it's just never grabbed me.
That's fair.
It's kind of my least favorite type of show.
Yeah, like a bunch of characters with confusing names, with intricate plot lines that are hard to follow.
It just doesn't really like grab me that much. War in general, not that grabbing of a storyline to me. The incest in the first episode was a bold choice. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But like, I would watch a show where they're like exploring like the emotional intricacies of that one situation. I don't really, yeah.
I mean, they kind of do, not super, I guess, but.
Oh, Gilmore Girls and Sopranos are like 2 out of my top 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's the third? Let us know.
Rehearsal.
We'll watch it.
Nathan Fielder's Rehearsal on Max.
Oh my God. This last one.
Yeah.
The German Paramount headquarters.
I know. Also, I had no idea where he was going to take it from episode 1, and I was a bit scared, but he made it feel good. And he did. I loved the thing where he just openly talked in the first episode about how, like, if I'm going to address this problem, it needs to still be a comedy show.
The clown having been run over.
I know.
So funny.
Makes me sick. Also, I had a totally different read on pilots, I think. I thought pilots were all really cool.
Oh.
Because, like, Ash Morgan's a pilot and she's cool. And I guess I imagined a male pilot being like Pilot Pete on The Bachelor, or someone who's like very social, charismatic, and like.
You never thought of them as egomaniac control freaks?
And I'm not even saying that, but I didn't think about the fact that, like, obviously, like, pilots, a bunch of nerds, because you got to be really good at maths and science to be a pilot. So that wasn't factoring into my perception of them. It's not that there aren't cool guy pilots, but it seems like it's more a bunch of nerds, which I respect. That's who you want flying your planes.
Yeah, and no disrespect to pilots in general. No. I don't actually know any. Like,
I respect the shit out of pilots.
But it probably is a similar personality profile to like a surgeon.
Yeah.
Maybe with less schooling, but it's like someone who is okay having responsibility for other people's lives, and to some degree thinks that they deserve that, and maybe they do because they're taking a lot of responsibility. I don't want to do that. I hate being a bus driver. I hate.
No, isn't there they've like shown that being a psychopath is advantageous for surgeons?
Yeah,
because it helps them not second guess themselves and like just be.
And probably for pilots too. But as we're learning through the rehearsal, it
Yeah.
can actually be quite dangerous.
Yeah. The only pilot I know is a nerd. My fiance is a pilot and he's cool, but can confirm that many are cringe. We're not coming for pilots.
Yeah, we're not. We want to earn our wings. What's a profession that you hate? Who do you hate? Who's
YouTubers.
bad? What? Only? Yeah, really?
Oh, family vloggers.
There you go. Ticketers, parking meter attendants.
Who you
I know
seem
that
to
they're
make
just.
friends with.
I know they're just keeping the rules. Oh, I've like talked some into.
It's unbelievable, guys. One time Tanner was like supposed to be meeting me, and then I don't remember what it was. It was like outside our apartment, but you would text me like I got pulled over for something, and then it was like 40 minutes later, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I was just chatting to the cop."
It was
like,
a parking meter
vibing.
attendant,
Okay.
yeah, who was like coming up to my car, and I was like, oh shit, they're like walking right there, and I was just like, hey, what's going on? How's you new to the neighborhood?
So charming.
Until it was
That's
time to go,
gonna
because I was
serve you
waiting
well.
for someone to come down. Was the issue?
I would definitely join the Patreon for Gilmore Girls content. That could be our new thing.
Wow, dangling that over our heads.
Yeah.
But not tennis shoes among the Nephites, huh?
So real.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Totally fair, 100%. And I guess we'll have to do it. I'll wait till my next 6 spell, and then I'll jump into Gilmore Girls. What platform is that on?
Good question. I think we're entering the final phase of this live stream.
We are Act 3.
So if you have any final super chats, Venmo or regular, this is your window of time to send them, or just anything generally.
Are we going to read Twilight?
Such an ongoing debate.
I think we ought to just watch the movie. I think
Maybe,
just a standalone episode where we watch the movie would be nice.
Yeah.
But we could do it. It's very relevant, very pertinent to what we're doing here. And I guess I'm just afraid of loving it.
Twilight? Oh,
yeah,
you
the book.
have because
never read it.
Oh, I read all of them.
And I'm in my reading era.
You are
anxious
Gary. Always nice to see you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's 5 blessings your way.
I'm proud of myself for getting out of the Mormon phase. I'm fully down for a Gilmore Girls phase. Yeah. The people need a Gilmore Girls phase.
It sounds like it. Sounds like we're all in this and we know what we need to be doing. But I think a Twilight movie watch would be good. It would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
And we could dress up as vampires, which would be fun.
Always fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to dress up as a girl who's casually and unknowingly so hot and no vampire can read her mind, and that makes her the chosen one.
Oh, damn. Oh, do Twilight vampires, they can read minds?
Yeah, that's the thing about Bella is, because you don't know anything about it.
I know that
he
they
can't
glimmer
read
or
her
sparkle
mind.
or whatever. Oh, he can't.
And that's why he's so intrigued.
Because she's got nothing in there.
He's so sick of being able to read every woman's mind.
Oh, yeah. He's like... fucking guy's 1,000,000 years old and went to a high school and is like, no one here is intellectually up to par. It's like, come on, dude.
And also the ContraPoints Twilight video is one of the best pieces of content that has ever been created.
Speaking of channels,
and if you want to talk about shadow work, that video.
Oh yeah, she's so good.
Sickening.
Her most recent one, so good.
A fish. Thank you. Just watch the Twilight movie and call it a day. I'd be so there.
Okay,
yeah,
all
that's
right. We're bankrolling this project. I think there was another one we missed too.
No, we. Oh yeah, we do.
Mixolydia.
Take care, everyone.
Oh, thank
you
you.
so much.
Thanks for taking care of us.
Of us, yes. Yeah, we didn't make videos for 3 weeks.
And boy, did we feel
instant impact. Yeah, not a job with a lot of leeway.
Yeah. Banksy is grateful, of course. I love that he shows up for these streams.
Yeah.
He loves all the comments. We read it to him in a language he understands. While we give him slow blinks and treats, he knows. He feels it.
He's getting dinner in like 13 minutes. That's gonna be so sick.
All right. Well, any final parting thoughts?
I think I feel good. It's nice to be back.
Yeah. And now we know it's good in this time of uncertainty to have, a path forward, and that path is going to be Gilmore Girls. So that's really nice.
Yeah. Come read Tennis Shoes with us if you want to, I don't know, just be a part of the finale that we're going to do live next week.
We are doing it live.
Yeah, we should do it live, right?
We should do it live, yeah. All in it together.
Yes. We could even schedule it for like the week after, so people have more time to catch up on the series, maybe.
There you go.
But yeah, this has been great. So chill for someone dinnering in 13 minutes. I know. I know. Usually he's doing like a 2-hour campaign before any meal.
He's posting up. That's really what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what comes after this.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you at Tennis Shoes.
Follow us everywhere else.
Around town.
If you like philosophy, follow me on Substack. Kind of the 33rd most important voice there right now. And we love you all.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming with us. The Dream Stream team.